Good morning, students. I hope that this long lockdown for the COVID-19 pandemic has not made you dull and you are fit as fiddle and excited for this virtual class. The novel COVID-19 pandemic has caused educational institutions worldwide to go online. I knew that you interact more in class than this technology-based class, but we have to overcome from this dreadful disease by following the guidelines of our government and continue our class. So I am going to explain you our first chapter, The Gift of the Magi. Students, we often give and receive gifts from our close ones on some special occasions. Our chapter is also based on this concept. First of all, I will tell you something about the story. The Gift of the Magi is a short story by O. Henry. This story is based on Christmas. In this story, Jim and Della live in New York. They don't have enough money to give Christmas gift to each other. Della sells her beautiful and long hair to buy a platinum fob chain for Jim's watch. On the other hand, Jim also sells his watch to buy a tortoiseshell hair comb for his wife. It shows that they love each other and go to the extent of sacrifice to give Christmas gift. So, you have to go through the text to see what happened later. Did they really enjoy the gifts they received? So let's begin our first chapter, The Gift of the Magi. First of all, you must know that who are the Magi. The Magi were the three wise men who came to see baby Jesus at his birth and gave valuable gifts unselfishly. Now, I will read text and explain you. So students, listen carefully. $1.87, that was all, and 60 cents of it was in pennies. Pennies saved 1 and 2 at a time by bulldozing the grocer and the vegetable man and the butcher until one's cheeks burned with embarrassment. 3 times Della counted it, $1.87, and the next day would be Christmas. Here, cents means small unit of money. Pennies means small coins having the same value as cent. In this paragraph, it is clear that Della was a poor lady. She had a little money saved by bargaining with the grocer, the vegetable man, and the butcher until she forced them to lower their prices. But whenever they lowered their prices, she felt awkward. Also, she was worried because the next day would be Christmas and she was counting that amount again and again. There was clearly nothing to do but flop down on the shabby little couch and howl. So Della did it, which brings us to the moral reflection that life is made up of sobs, sniffles, and smiles, with sniffles predominating. Flop down means fall heavily, sobs means cry, sniffles means whipping with sounds, and predominating means to be in greater amount. In this paragraph, O. Henry explained about Della's sadness. She threw herself on the old little couch and cried. This description has a moral reflection that life is made up of sobs, sniffles, and smiles, with sniffles in greater amount. It also summarized the theme of the chapter that both Della and Jim shared smiles and tears by sacrificing their precious possession for each other. While the mistress of the home is gradually subsiding from the first stage to the second, take a look at the home. A furnished flat at $8 per week. It did not exactly beggar description, but it certainly required some renovation. In the vestibule below was a letter box into which no letter would go. and an electric button from which no mortal finger could coax a ring. Also, in the vestibule was a card bearing the name Mr. James Dillingham Young. Subsiding means declining. Vestibule means a hall or lobby next to the outer door of a building. Coax means obtain. Here, Della, the lady of the house, moved down from the prosperous to hard life. Here, author threw light on the condition of their flat. They had to pay $8 per week for a furnished flat. It had a letter box, but hardly any letter would go. It also had an electric button, which could not obtain a ring. Also, there was a card named Mr. James Dillingham Young in the vestibule. The Dillingham had been flung to the breeze during a former period of prosperity when its possessor was being paid $30 per week. Now, when the income was shrunk to $20, though they were thinking seriously of contracting to a modest and unassuming deal. But whenever Mr. James Dillingham Young came home and reached his flat above, he was called Jim by Mrs. James Dillingham Young, already introduced to you as Della, which is all very good. Now here, flung means to move and unassuming means simple. Here, in the name Mr. James Dillingham Young, the middle name Dillingham was used on the letterbox during a period when he used to earn $30 per week. But when he was paid $20 per week, the letters of Dillingham looked blurred, or we can say faded, like their financial position. So they thought to contract means shorten their name to a simple D instead of a long name Dillingham. Here we can see that the name is a symbol of their financial position and hopes. Whenever Mr. James Dillingham Young, who was called Jim, reached home, Mrs. James Dillingham, Della, called him Jim lovingly, no matter how much he earns, which shows her deep love for him. Della finished her cry and attended to her cheeks with a powder rag. She stood by the window and looked out dully at a grey cat walking a grey fence in a grey backyard. Tomorrow would be Christmas Day, and she had only $1.87 with which to buy Jim a present. She had been saving every penny she could for months with this result. $20 a week doesn't go far. Expenses had been greater than she had calculated. They always are. Only $1.87 to buy a present for Jim. Her Jim. Many a happy hour she had spent planning for something nice for him. Something fine and rare and sterling. Something just a little bit near to being worthy of the honor of being owned by Jim. Here in this paragraph, sterling means excellent and valuable. So dear students, in this paragraph, Della was very sad and weeping, standing by the window. She stopped crying and cleaned her cheeks by applying some powder on it using a puff. In the preceding line, you can see the word grey that expressed disappointment and lack of hope. When Della looked out of the window, she saw a grey cat walking a grey fence in a grey backyard. Here, everything seems grey. That reflects that greyness inside Della. It reflects that Della was actually sad from inside. She was worried as the Christmas festival was approaching, and she had only $1.87. She was able to save that amount by smartly spending and saving. She had been planning for many months to buy an excellent, valuable gift for her beloved Jim that would be worthy enough if Jim would possess that gift. Students, we will continue our chapter in the next class. Till then, take care and study well.